Is a sick out the same as a strike? That's the question at the crux of the lawsuit against the West Ada Education Association. Hoping to prove that it is, and therefore illegal in Idaho, are a group of parents whose kids are in the West Ada School District and who didn't have class 2 days this week because more than 1,100 teachers called in sick both Monday and Tuesday. Well, their attorneys filed that lawsuit yesterday, right about the time the teachers union and the school district decided school will be back in session today, having agreed to work out some sort of resolution to the teachers' grievances. The teachers didn't want to work under the lax health standards because of COVID-19, and they believed they should be remote only while Ada County is under the red category. The district felt okay with going ahead with their alternating hybrid model, like schools were still in the yellow category. So about 650 teachers called in sick Monday and another 500 again on Tuesday to make a point that they wanted to see a change. This was announced late last week, giving parents little time to figure out alternatives for their kids who were supposed to be in school those days. Thus the lawsuit. They want this sick out deemed illegal and that they don't want to have it happen again. We spoke with the parents' attorneys today and asked, can calling in sick be considered a strike?
That's right. So for several decades now, since 1977, the law has been clear in Idaho that teacher strikes are illegal. And that makes sense, right? That's actually the case in 35 states. The teacher strikes are illegal. And that's because teachers, much like fire and police, are essential workers. We rely on them in our communities to make sure that things keep running. In this instance, the union is characterizing this as a work action, but the label isn't what's important. For my clients, these families, and for all the other families in West Ada, what's important is the kids didn't go to school, and parents had to call grandparents or neighbors and scramble to figure out childcare. And these kids weren't learning like they were supposed to be. And that's a strike. And we need a court to call it such.
At the time you filed this lawsuit, there had already been some sort of resolution. I mean, the teachers are back to work today. So does that make this lawsuit a moot point?
It doesn't. So we filed yesterday afternoon before we knew that they were going to go back today. But I think two things are really important. One, I wouldn't characterize this as having ended. I would characterize it as being on pause. Both the district and the union have said that they have not reached an agreement yet, that they are only back temporarily, and that the union has basically issued a demand that the district cave by its Tuesday board meeting, or we'll see another work action. And so we're asking a judge to hear and rule on this case as promptly as possible so that the school board, the union, and mostly the parents can have confidence at that point that regardless of what policy disagreements may exist, school's going to be on Wednesday.
And so therefore, this lawsuit is not a moot one because it's still up in the air.
Yeah, that's right. We are looking to the judge to provide us prompt relief. We need a court order this week in order to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore. And then more broadly to look to the future and say that this can't happen in this district or other districts in Idaho, that this just isn't a legitimate tool. Kids are not pawns, and they shouldn't be held hostage as a negotiating tactic between a union and a school board.
It's also worth pointing out the Idaho Freedom Foundation has had its hands in this lawsuit on the part of the parents. I did ask if the teachers could just claim they were in fact just sick, but as Mr. Sir pointed out, the union has been vocal in taking credit for organizing this sick out. And he's right. Neither party admitted to a resolution yesterday when it comes to the issues the teachers have had with working conditions. The district just asked for time to figure it out, and they got it until at least next week, Tuesday.